So good evening. This is yet another Career Pivot Office Hours. My name is Mark Miller, and I'm with my lovely assistant,
Ta-da!
Elizabeth Rebay. Why don't you introduce yourself, Elizabeth?
I'm Elizabeth Rebay. I live here in Austin, Texas. I work for an environmental engineering company as their marketing coordinator. But then I also help out Mark with career pivot projects, email campaigns, just social media, things like that for him.
So, by the way, next week we're going to be talking about Elizabeth's today's post on will your job be eliminated by technology? Or as she's working on another post is, will you be replaced by a robot?
Yeah.
And it's probably far more likely than you think.
That's what I'm finding out.
But today, one of the things we want to do, and rather interesting, I don't see the question queue on. Do you see a question queue?
I see a send a message with the backslash.
Rather interesting. I don't have that for some reason.
Oh, I have questions over on my left.
Yeah, I can't see the questions. I can't. It's interesting. It's not up. I don't have the little map.
I got the map.
So I'm going to refresh my screen here real quickly. And in fact, I'm going to, let's see, can I make you, well, let's see. Nah, I'm going to leave it up. I'm going to let you read the questions. If someone types something in, just read it to me.
Okay.
What we're here to talk about is social media. Social media goes corporate. It's a blog post I wrote last week based on the CEO of Hootsuite wrote. And basically it comes down to is social media is doing corporate. And the reality is, if you're not comfortable with social media, you better be. And in the post, there is a survey. If you would be so kind as to take that survey. And Elizabeth, can you kind of cut and paste first? Can you cut and paste the office hours help and the link there?
Okay.
By the way, we know people have had few people have had problems getting on Blab, and if you have, if in the last note that we went out there is a help that I went to Blab and they gave us, and let me know when you have that link in there. But one of the key pieces is both Facebook is moving very rapidly into the corporate world, and the one thing that Elizabeth and I have been using is we've been using Slack. And by the way, it's slack.com. And I know I've found it very useful. It is a cross between texting and email. And it is rapidly moving into the corporate world. Do you have a chance? Do you have bandwidth, Elizabeth, to talk a little bit about your experience with Slack?
Yeah.
I know I can see you're working on.
Yes. Here we go. I found it. Hold on. I'll be back in a second. And is that what you're looking for?
Well, I can't see it. I can't see the message. Okay. I can't see anything on that side of the screen. It's rather weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I don't want to refresh the screen because I don't want it to go away.
Okay. All right.
Now, can I make you? No. I have to. But we've been using Slack, and I have one client who's been using Slack. And it allows you to essentially create multiple, almost chat rooms, but also upload files. Allows you to segment who's gonna discuss. And the reality is, you have to be comfortable with using social media. So one of the things of the survey we were asking is, are you using social media? And we've gotten some rather interesting feedback so far. In fact, I'm going to pull that up here real quickly.
Yeah, I've been looking at Slack the last couple of days, and it is really an interesting platform. And what I like about it is, first of all, you can segment your communications, whether you're talking marketing or project management or financial. You can just put all that information within what they call them channels, and you can just keep all that information there. But I also like it that you're connected with different social media, so you don't have to leave like email and go out to Twitter or Facebook or whatever. You can bring it all in there. Yep. Google Drive. So literally, on your tablet or your phone, you could, stay up to date wherever you are and have all the pieces of information that you need right in front of you.
Yeah, I'm using the you can use Slack in the browser, but also I've installed the Mac app on my MacBook Pro. I also have Slack on my iPhone, and if I get a message from somebody, it automatically pops up and alerts me. And again, I don't completely get it yet, but we're getting there pretty quickly. I think the second piece that we want to talk about is companies are now requiring, many companies, I know it was true at my last startup, that they use my social media channels. This is primarily to promote jobs. I don't know if you've seen where people have, where jobs have been posted on different social media platforms. Like, for example, when I was at Life Size, I had people who were we had various people where the recruiters would use the social media channel to post jobs, and so it might come on my stream or Elizabeth's stream, so it looks like it's coming from us, and that is becoming very, 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 very common. The other one is social messaging. But one of the things one of the reasons why we're here is because of video. Video is becoming pervasive, and you absolutely have to be comfortable with it. So my question to anybody wants to type into the question box, and I said Elizabeth can pick it up, is, are you using video at work? Are you using video in your personal life? And let us know whether you're, whether you're using video. So Elizabeth, how have you found getting on Blab?
Well, I was a little hesitant to begin with, but actually, I enjoy it. It's not that bad. It's really easy to use, and it's a great way to get a message across and have the interaction that we have and a conversation. And everything that I'm reading nowadays, all the top trends for 2016 and how to create good marketing plans and things like that. Everyone says the more visual you can get, the more videos you can have, the better off you are. Seems being goofy today, so yeah, I think it's something that you really need to start to embrace.
Yeah, well, and one of the things that my last job was with a video conferencing startup, Life Size, and one of the things I found was particularly women were hesitant getting on video, and in fact, one of the things I had to train the partners on was not to show the near end video to people, because the first thing women would do would they start messing with their hair, and and most of us guys don't care. We don't care what we look like, and what would happen is so many of them would get off camera.
Okay.
And so, as you've seen me in these last few sessions, I've moved into a different room because I'm working on different lighting. This lighting is still not optimal, but it's better than where I was at my desk. And next week I'm going to try yet something different in here.
Okay.
I'm going to be working on yet some different lighting. In fact, I may turn on while you're talking next, I'm going to turn on the light.
Okay.
So yeah, and Elizabeth and I have played around with Periscope, which is actually just simply a broadcast medium. It's part of Twitter, and Periscope is strictly on the phone. It's a phone app.
It allows you as a user to show what you're doing in real time, and then people can watch you, and they can type you questions and responses and ask things that what you're doing. I have probably about 10 or 15 different followers that I follow and see what they're doing. So I get to see people from all over the world interact, and some people talk about their business and what they're doing. There's a local food writer here in Austin that every once in a while she gets on, and she'll talk about latest cooking trends, and so I can have a 5-minute break on cooking trends at my desk, which is kind of cool. So, okay, at lunch hour, that is, people.
Yeah, you're not doing it during your
So.
Yeah, and so a lot of this is really changing. And like here, I'm recording this right now. What we're noticing is, after about 20 minutes, I'm going to turn the recording off and let people pop in and see if they want to talk about using video. But video is becoming video is social media is becoming an imperative, and partially because video has gotten so cheap, or it should say inexpensive, that it's one of those deals where you're going to have to get comfortable with it, or you're going to become a dinosaur. But I was just pulling up the Survey Monkey, and I've been kind of surprised the number of we've gotten about 40 responses so far, 41 responses so far. Rather interesting. It's heavily skewed towards women. 70% of women have. We're going to get interesting to see. I've also been surprised the number of people who are on Twitter. A little over half, and we've got a few people on Pinterest and Instagram, and a few people have been, and most people, over 85%, have been quote use it daily, which is a nice sign. And again, if you haven't taken the survey, I'm going to encourage you, please go take it. It's in the latest blog post on the social media, which is part of this. So, Elizabeth.
Yes.
Why don't we open it up for questions? So I'm gonna stop the recording.
Okay.
So this will be a short one. We're only 13 minutes today.